begin our program today talking about diversity, or the lack thereof, in our region. It's well known that Pittsburgh is one of the least diverse major metros in the country. What's less well understood is why it's such a big issue. Simply put, as our population and workforce ages, our lack of diversity makes it harder to attract the people we're going to need to do the work that needs to be done. So what do we do about it? Well, that's the question Lenny McAllister will be posing this Friday night on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel. Lenny's the host of Night Talk, Get to the Point. Welcome. Good to have you here on Our Region's Business.
Good to be here, Bill.
Yeah, let me ask you about this, and I guess your interest in this report. Pretty fascinating data on the really low penetration of minorities in the workforce here in our region.
Well, it's sad because as a boomerang, this isn't very fascinating to me at all. This is something that Pittsburgh has struggled with for quite some time, and I've said this publicly on a number of occasions. This is what keeps us world-renowned but not world-class. There are a lot of things that we're missing out on that Pittsburgh has to offer the country and to people that could come here and emigrate to the region of the city of Pittsburgh region. And if we are able to resolve this diversity issue, really be honest with ourselves and move forward, I think we can really be something even more special than we already are here in the region.
Yeah, I've got to ask you, you spent years in Chicago, right?
Yes.
And I mean, when you came home, I mean, you had a memory of Pittsburgh, I'm sure, when you left. But when you came home, were you even more struck by the lack of diversity here?
Unfortunately, yes. I mean, I'm a Pittsburgh native, so I was born and raised here, grew up in the east end of the city. And to be quite honest with you, when I came back to Pittsburgh 18 months ago, to see the lack of diversity that was here, it was very staunch to me. It was very troubling. And again, it's something that we have to look at and understand that we have to work through this so that we can optimize all the assets that we have here in the Pittsburgh region. Otherwise, again, we'll be world-renowned without being world-class, and Pittsburgh deserves to be world-class.
You know, folks in this region have a great reputation for being friendly, helpful, give you great directions and all that kind of stuff. Doesn't necessarily translate into being truly welcoming and inclusive. Do you see that? Do you hear that?
Pittsburgh's a very parochial town. We like what we like how we do what we do. Therefore, when people come into the city of Pittsburgh, it's a lot harder for them to be integrated into the fabric, if you will. I remember going to Chicago, I remember going to North Carolina. I was integrated into the fabric. In Pittsburgh, it's a little harder, and it's even been hard for me as a boomerang because I hadn't been here for a while. Now, of course, for every one people like me that's going to dive right into it, you have others that we have to make sure that we embrace, which is why organizations such as Vibrant Pittsburgh are very much necessary to have.
All right. Very good. So, well, Lenny, we'll look forward to this coming Friday night, March 27th at 8 p.m. on the Pittsburgh Cable News Channel, PCNC, to hear you tell us more about it.
Thank you, Bill. God bless.